Hey everyone, it is Scarab. I am back. I'm just trying to figure out a consistent schedule on uploading, and I'm also trying to figure out like what I want to keep reacting to because I'm a part of a lot of communities here on YouTube. So we'll see. But today I just want to react to one of Amberlynn's videos. It's her newest vlog. I have been following her for years, but I do love her. I like reacting to her. I like when she trolls. I am sorry for those who don't know who Amber is. However, maybe at some point I'll go over like the history of the Amberverse, but for now, I'm just gonna assume if you're watching this, you already know who she is. So let's go ahead and react and see what is going on with our girl.
So my goal for the near future is to have my Sunday weigh-in uploaded on Monday. As you guys can tell, I've kind of been failing at that because I'm just taking it easy in January.
Oh my god, this screen cap. I'm so sorry, Amber. But I am glad to hear that she is taking it easy, especially after the holidays. I know a lot of people weren't like too impressed with her finishing Vlogmas, even though it was kind of a miracle that she did, considering she never finishes any challenges she starts. But I was really happy that she was able to finish that. For her and her current mental health, we don't know, how bad she's actually doing, so that could have taken a lot out of her, even though it doesn't seem like it would be much to us. So, I'm okay with her taking a little break, but also like don't just leave us hanging, please.
I just feel like I need a little bit of a mental health break from filming, and that's fine. Me being my own boss, I'm able to do that, which I love. So
We stand a boss bitch. Also, her earrings.
let's get into the 5 questions and then we'll get into the weigh-in. So the first question is,
They're really cute. Look at them. Those are super cute.
does the rest of your family also struggle with their weight? And not all of my family, but a really big thing for me when I think of my family and my weight is my grandma on my dad's side. Before I was even born, she was over 600 pounds and she actually got
Whoa. Whoa. Do you think that this runs in the family?
weight loss surgery before I was.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so she got weight loss surgery. So I'm wondering if the grandma wasn't really morbidly obese when she was growing up. So maybe she hadn't seen what could happen to her yet.
Born. I didn't even know they had weight loss surgery back then. Like, that's so weird to me. I know that might sound like ignorant, but I thought weight loss surgery was like maybe like 20 years old, something around there. I'm 32 if anyone's wondering. So I always knew my grandma as a woman in her like low 200s, high hundreds.
Oh, okay. So she knew her in her like low 200s. So she never saw when she was over 600 pounds. That's crazy. Okay, so she knew that she had weight loss surgery, but I'm wondering, like, since she never saw her at that weight, like, she didn't understand, like, how extreme it was or how extreme it could get. But that is crazy that she turned out to go down the same path. So maybe it's like one of those things that, like, skips a generation. I don't know. It could also just be mostly bad eating, too. We don't know.
The grandma that I'm speaking of is no longer with us.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Amber. I am really close to my grandma. She was like a mom to me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if she goes before me. I would probably lose my mind. So I'm very sorry for this.
She was like my mom when my mom couldn't be my mom,
Oh.
and I miss her dearly. Not just the weight aspect, but she's also a lesbian, and I didn't know that until I was older and she had already passed on. My dad didn't want me knowing for some reason. That's
Wow.
like a whole other
Wow, that's really sad. They had so much in common before she even fully knew. It's really unfortunate that people are so like embarrassed and ashamed of telling someone they're gay. Um, Obviously, it doesn't seem like her grandma was, but her dad kept it from her for a reason, which clearly didn't help because she turned out to be a fucking lesbian. But that's really sad. I wish she could have like bonded with her over that.
Their story for a different time. So, but yeah, I do have people in my family who struggle with their weight, but I also have people in my family who are just naturally thinner. Lucky them. Second question is, do you believe in health at every size?
Ooh.
I do not.
I'm so glad that she brought this up, especially as a huge influencer who is morbidly obese. I think it's really important for her to not promote health at every size. I don't think health at every size is real. I think maybe an unpopular opinion, but I do think that the body positive community turned into something that it's not. I think it started off beautiful and innocent and, you know, something to make people love themselves more, which I think you can be beautiful at any size. It doesn't matter. I think people in general can just be beautiful as far as like I think your personality and like who you are at the core is what makes someone beautiful. I don't necessarily think it's your body and how you present yourself. Obviously people can be attractive, but I don't think it's the same thing. Health at every size kind of morphed with body positivity, and I just think it's kind of a jumbled mess. I think that a lot of these morbidly obese people that are pushing health at every size and also severely like underweight people like Eugenia, we can get into that maybe at another time. I've kept up with Eugenia for years also, and I think personally she's, in my opinion, I think she's at the worst she's ever been right now. Um, but I don't think it's healthy or okay for people with so many subscribers to be pushing this, and then people who are at higher risk of health problems are thinking, well, you know, all these people think I'm beautiful how I am, so I don't need to change. Which, if you don't want to change, don't change. Okay, like no, I'm not gonna stop you. You can do whatever you want, but don't preach that you're healthy when you're 600 pounds. You might not have extreme health problems right now, but I know you're not breathing right. I know you're not walking right, you know? Like things are a lot harder when you're that big, and same goes for if you're that small, you know? Like you're not breathing right if you weigh 20 fucking pounds and you're like 30 years old. That's not okay. It's not okay to push it, and I really think that what she just did was amazing, and I am very proud of her for saying this.
I believe in beauty at any size. You can
Yep.
be 1,000 pounds and be beautiful. You could be 80 pounds and be beautiful.
Amen.
But I don't think that being morbidly obese or severely underweight
Thank you.
is healthy. It
Thank
never
you.
will be. It took me some time to get to that spot because I remember about 6 years ago I saw a doctor and they did my blood work. They called me healthy and they
Oh my god, okay, this is the infamous doctor that told her she's healthy moment. She took this and ran with it. It's basically a meme in the Amberverse now. She used to just fight her audience so hard saying that she was healthy because this doctor told her she was. Um, I mean, she could have been healthy at that point, but being 600 pounds is not fucking healthy. It doesn't matter what other issues you're having at the time. That's not healthy. Um, that's funny she's bringing this up though, and I'm kind of glad she brought it up after saying that she realizes that it was wrong.
just said that I'm overweight. So I took that, I ran with it, I accepted that for
Yep.
what it was, but that's not
Good
true.
for you,
That's
girl.
not the truth.
Good
I
for
really
you.
feel like even with a clear bill of health, being my size is not healthy.
Amen, girl. Good for you.
It is a symptom of something, and that symptom is very, very unhealthy. Next question. You don't drink much water. What are you drinking then? Are you ordering fountain drinks anymore? No, I'm actually not ordering fountain drinks.
No way. You really think she's not ordering fountain drinks? That's crazy. I really hope it's true.
Drinks anymore. I'm drinking a lot of this.
Oh no. Oh, zero sugar root beer. Okay. I don't know. I mean, obviously the no sugar is good, but does carbonation have any play in like weight gain? I don't know. Not a doctor.
I'm drinking a lot of A&W zero sugar root beer. I'm low-key obsessed, but
You know what? Actually, I quit drinking soda a long time ago, and I didn't lose any weight. So honestly, who cares? But drink more water, girl. You gotta drink more water.
I know that I need to slowly start drinking more water and less diet soda, because pretty sure when you get weight loss surgery, you can't have carbonation.
What?
So that's going to be
I didn't know that.
a big change for me if I do get approved. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say if. I'm going to say when I get approved.
Wow, what a baddie. Wow. Look at her attitude. Usually her vlogs have been so fucking boring, but I like her attitude. I like it.
Approved. Fourth question is, what's different this time with weight loss surgery versus last time? So I don't know if you guys know this. Some of you are new to my channel. Some of you haven't seen all my videos or know about every single thing that I do in my life. I have tried to get weight loss surgery before. It was actually a few years ago, and they told me that they wanted me to heal from my past.
Yes.
And I took that as a fail. This time,
oh my god. I still can't. I cannot comprehend why she, even from that moment, like where she was at that time, how would you automatically just say, oh, well, they want me to do therapy, so I'm not getting the surgery? That does not make any sense. Girl, you seen 600-pound life. You seen it. Doctor now makes them go to therapy, and he makes sure that they can handle a diet before getting the surgery, because it's not gonna work. You're just gonna puke a bunch and then stretch your stomach back out and be at the exact same weight. It's gonna be pointless. So you gotta do some kind of work. And on top of that, if you're trying to change your life that significantly that you're gonna to get this weight loss surgery, why would you not want to do therapy to go with it? So like, you're already trying to change your life. Why don't you change the mental part too, which is probably the cause of most of the weight gain? I don't understand why I just don't know how she didn't get this at that point in her life, but I'm very glad she's been going to therapy now and doing the work, because that is so helpful.
I know they're gonna say that to me. Instead of thinking of it as a fail, I am accepting it as part of the journey.
Yep,
that is how I know my mindset is completely different. It's not gonna be a fail. It's not gonna be, no, you can't get weight loss surgery. It's okay,
when you're ready.
Here's your first step, now do it. And the reason why I took that as a fail last time is because I didn't want to put in the work. I didn't want to at all.
Yeah.
And this time I do.
She wasn't ready to deal with the mental load of having to unpack everything and actually go through it. I feel that. It took me 3 years to go to therapy when I was really bad, so I feel her. But, therapy is the best thing I ever did.
Want to. That is a big difference. Last question is, does Delta 8 make you binge? It does for me. Does it for you? So Delta 8 is a wannabe THC. I mean, it has THC in it. I don't want to get into details, but it's...
Wait. What is Delta 8? Is she just talking about like an edible? Is she just edibles?
It's just legalized, like, marijuana, kind of. And yes, I actually had to quit, and that was hard for me because I think I kind of...
Well, yeah, everyone knows you get the munchies when you're high.
Started to rely on it. I woke up and I was excited to take one,
I mean, that's
and
not a bad thing,
I
but if
couldn't go
it's
to
making
bed
you...
without one. It was becoming
I'm glad she sees... I'm sorry, the screen cap. Amber, I'm so sorry. Let me... Okay, that's a little better. Marijuana is not inherently bad if it's legal in your state and if it's used especially for medical reasons, anxiety, mental health. It can really help you. For me, it makes my anxiety so bad I can't do anything anymore. Um, I'm just the best when I'm sober. I'm glad that she is able to see that yes, this is helpful in some ways, like for sleeping and mental health, but right now my goal is to lose weight and this is giving me munchies. I'm glad she's able to see that and take the step to know that she needs to stop. That's really impressive from her.
a crutch when I had anxiety or things felt heavy. I would take one,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
it
that's not bad. That's not bad. Maybe she gets to the point where, she gets through some therapy, you know, gets at a better place with eating in her relationship with food, she can go back to him.
was becoming sort of an addiction. I feel like
I think you can get addicted to marijuana. Obviously, it's not something that's going to kill you, but I know people who like depend on it. It's definitely a thing.
anything could be an addiction. We don't have to discuss that right now, but I have quit. I no longer take Delta 8 anymore because it was causing my binging to get way worse because I was getting to a point where I was getting pretty high and like I would just mindlessly eat and eat and
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But I'm wondering if this is not binging. Like it sounds like she just has the munchies. Like I don't know if it's making her binging worse. I feel like binging is more something you do when you're like emotionally distressed or something's going on like that and you're doing that to forget about it. And then you feel regret after, but this sounds more like if she's just mindlessly eating, it just sounds like munchies. I don't know if that's necessarily like binging, but obviously it's not helping her weight journey.
eat all day. So I guess it's time that I share with you guys when I said that the first week of Ozempic did not work for me. And the reason why is because I was taking a lot of Delta 8.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
And like I said, it was like I was obsessed with it. I relied on it. I relied on it a lot. And I wouldn't really film while high. Actually,
Except for that live stream she did on Halloween. The girl was so freaking high. That shit was so funny.
I might have a couple times, not many, but I ended up quitting Delta 8 while taking Ozempic. And I think that was a really big thing that also helps because Delta 8 was making me so freaking hungry. And then, like, stopping it plus starting Ozempic, it was very helpful. But I have not done Delta 8 in it's gonna be almost a week. And
Nice.
yeah, it's just it's sad because I do enjoy it, I do.
And that's fine. Go back to it when you feel like you can control yourself more. It's not gonna be gone forever if it helped you that much.
It just it's so relaxing and it makes you feel good, but it's not worth it because it made me feel sluggish. It made me feel hungry. It made me not really do the things I was supposed to do. What I'm trying to say is it wasn't productive. Like it wasn't causing me to be productive in my life in any sort of way. And I know that I took Delta 8 on live stream and I kind of regret that because I don't know, live streams make me
funny.
feel like really anxious and I get in a weird headspace and I get put on the spot with like harassment and things that I don't want to talk about. And then like I just get so overwhelmed that sometimes I say and do things that I just...
Is she talking about when she said she didn't care if that woman had a heart attack or not? She tried to find a sympathy bone. I think that's what she's talking about because I'm pretty sure that was the same live stream where she was high.
don't I don't agree with. I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is I think that by no longer taking Delta 8, it is going to drastically help me. And I already feel that in the last few days, it has helped me.
This little dot, is this on her video? Oh, it is. Weird.
Because I haven't been binging. And since that was my last question, that kind of is going into how this last week has been. My main focus is not to binge. That is all I'm worried about. I really want to see, am I binging or am I a food addict?
Yeah.
I have always said that I have binge eating disorder. I was diagnosed with binge.
I cannot with the screen caps. I'm sorry, Amber. I'm so sorry. I try to fix your face before I pause. Yeah, that's a good point. Trying to figure out if you are actually binging or if you're just kind of addicted to food. That's becoming very mindful. She's becoming very mindful of, what she is doing, which is good.
Binge eating disorder. But was I misdiagnosed? Because
could be. Not that uncommon.
Am I just a food addict? I think of this. I've been thinking a lot of addiction lately. With like my family. Sorry.
Oh, Amber.
I grew up in foster care because my parents were drug addicts and
I'm sorry, Amber. I am so sorry. I've dealt with addiction with parents as well.
My mom's been sober for almost 7 years and it's
good for her. Good for her. That's amazing.
It's beautiful. And my dad is still in his addiction and
I'm sorry.
This is hard for me to say, and you guys have been saying I need to be more open. Because I feel like
I don't ever want Amber to feel like she needs to open up because her audience thinks that we are entitled to know her life. I think it is really good for her to open up in the sense that it makes more sense to her audience to know the reasons behind why she does things. Like the Ozempic thing was huge because people were like, this could help you so much. Like, why are you blaming Ozempic? Why are you saying it's not working for you? Like, But now it makes sense because she said she was doing edibles or whatever she was doing during that time, which kind of counteracted it and made her have munchies. So if we would have known that, I don't think she would have received as much hate from people. So I think it's good in the sense that we want you to open up so we know you more. Because you used to tell us everything, and we don't even know wifey, You're a vlogger. Like, we watch you because we love you and we want to know what's going on. That's what made you famous, I feel like giving your audience a little more insight into why you do the things you do, like, is going to be so much more helpful for preventing hate comments. And I've never sent Amber hate comments. I love her. I do question things she does, and I think some of the stuff she does is stupid, but I love her as a person, and I don't agree with people sending her hate, but I understand why they do.
I think I've lost that side of me. I'm not as open as I used to be. I try to be, but it's hard.
Yep.
But
that's okay.
My little brother, he is back in jail for drugs.
Oh my god.
It's so bittersweet because he was homeless, and it's like
it takes people time to hit rock bottom, and every time he goes to jail, I'm assuming he's staying longer, so that means a longer time when they sober him up and longer time to think about it. So hopefully, he'll get over that eventually.
I couldn't help him. For personal reasons, I'm not going to say. I couldn't help him with.
It's not your responsibility. And sometimes the best thing you can do for people with addictions is not help them, because it just turns into enabling. I mean, buying food and giving it to them can be helpful. If they're homeless, buying socks for them, buying a jacket for them, that is helpful. Handing them cash, not so much, because you know what they're going to do with that, whether you want to think about it or not. So I don't think it's fair for anyone to feel guilty, because a lot of times addicts will, make you feel guilty, like, oh, you didn't help. They'll guilt trip you. They're in the middle of an addiction. They're going to say things they don't mean to try and get what they want, which is usually cash to get drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. I'm sad to see how guilty she feels, like she couldn't help him, because not enabling him is helping him, whether they realize it or not. And I've been here. I've been in her exact position. It feels like shit.
With a home, I couldn't help him with him coming here because it wasn't allowed, and it's just, I feel like I didn't help. I tried. I would pay for his food a lot and stuff.
That's all you need to do.
And I don't want to say too much about his personal information and stuff and what he's going through, but right now this is also something that I'm going through, and I know that sounds selfish, and I'm not trying to.
It's not selfish. Having a family member or friend who's in the middle of an addiction, it 100% affects anyone around them and affects anyone who cares about them. It 100% does. It's not selfish.
To me, it's just, this is like such a, I don't know, it's a very hard time for me because I'm thinking more of addiction lately, and I'm wondering, do I actually binge, or do I just eat large quantities because I'm addicted to what I'm eating? And this is all something that,
these are great things to talk to her therapist about. This is the kind of stuff you want to bring to therapy.
I am going to be able to find out. And I'm just thinking more and more, about it. And like the last time I showed you guys, I was binging. It was literally a meal from a fast food place, and like people were saying that's not a binge, and then I was confused because I was like, well, my psychologist.
It must be hard having your entire life on the internet and people telling you what you have and don't have, because she might not have binge disorder, but that's not something for her audience to tell her. I mean, they can suggest things nicely, but people usually don't talk to her very nicely. But I'm glad that she's kind of realizing all this on her own, because now this is something her therapist can help her work through.
Says it is, and I feel like it is, and then I don't know. I am confused, and I feel like this whole weight loss journey thing and me seeing another psychologist and really digging deeper, because we need to dig deeper so I can get approved for weight loss surgery. I think I'm gonna be coming to a lot of memories and situations,
Yep.
and things that I don't know if I want to talk about and absorb and process.
I went through this same process where I didn't deal with things for so long, because I didn't want to. It's hard, it sucks, but this is something that she needs to do. She's gonna feel so much better after.
I have to. And so when I sit here and say I don't want to binge, I guess that's just what I'm used to saying. And what I really mean by that is I don't want to eat when I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just the easiest way for me to explain it right now, because I always considered me binging when I'm eating large quantities of food when I shouldn't be eating them. That's what.
Yeah, see, I agree with her. Don't I don't think that's binging. I don't think eating large quantities when you shouldn't is binging. I think A binge is when you are just going through it. You know, you're right in the middle of the shit, and you're just like, okay, I need to not think about this. So I'm gonna grab a shit ton of food and eat it. I feel like that's more of a binge. I mean, at this point, eating large quantities multiple times a day is probably just because she's at the weight that she's at. A smaller meal isn't going to fill her up anymore. So it might be food addiction. It might have started with binging, and now it's just to the point where that's just what she does to feel normal. And then a binge is probably when she's at an elevated state mentally, and that's where she just, like, you know, emotionally eats.
What that felt like to me. And I don't know, I want to figure this out, and it's like, am I like my parents?
No.
Did I just choose a different outlet, you know?
I feel so bad for her right here. I'm a firm believer addiction runs in families because I've seen it in my family. Obviously, not a scientist, not a doctor. I don't know 100% if that's true, but from my life experience, I think that is true. I think you can have addictive personalities um, in your family. And when I've seen it, it has all been like on the same side of the family, like all from mom's side, all from dad's side. So I think that can happen, but I don't think she needs to feel guilty for it. But she's doing everything right now that she can, it seems like.
And it's like my brother, he is an addict, but he chose drugs. Well, drugs chose him, you know? And it's like, I think of my mom, and she is so inspiring. It's because it's like, I remember how things were when I was younger. They were scary. And
I've gone through the same thing. I'm not gonna like name names, but I had a family member who, when I was younger, was very addicted to alcohol. I remember being very young and seeing them, act crazy. With this person, it wasn't violent. It was more of, laying on the floor, laughing hysterically, like, acting like a child, basically. So as a child, I thought it was funny. But I remember going through the same thing, and I remember them getting sent away and visiting them in a rehab facility, and that was scary because I didn't know what was going on. But then I remember the after of when they came home, and things were so much better. Like, just everyone just got along. They were happier, and they've been sober ever since. So I know exactly what she's talking about.
And the things that she did and the things that she went through, it was scary. And I never, as sad as this is, I never thought that she would change. Ever.
Nope. And that is 100% true. There is, I have people in my life who I feel the same way about now, and it's really, really hard to deal with. I talk to my therapist about this almost every time I talk to him, which is usually once a week or every other week, depending on availability. But it's a constant thing that comes up for me is I have guilt over how a family member is living with this addiction. I feel guilty I can't help. But I also understand now that is their choice. And it's not my responsibility to change them. And I can't change them is the other thing. No matter how hard I try, I cannot be the one to change them. It's something they're going to want to do themselves.
And it's like she's over 7 years clean, and it's like,
good for her. Got your mom back.
She's inspired me.
Amber, I want to hug you. I'm sorry. I love you.
And I didn't want to talk about any of this. Oh my god, my mascara.
It's okay. See, this is how you should
I didn't really want to like
leave in the emotional stuff. This is what the audience needs to understand what's going on in your life better.
talk about any of this, but I've been hearing a lot of you say that, like, I'm just not the same person as I used to be. Like, I'm not as open.
People have said this to me too after going through like crazy mental health problems, and I have felt guilty for so long about that. I've gone through almost a mourning process of trying to like be who I was before mental illness like really affected me and shit, and I am coming to the conclusion now that I'm never gonna get that back, and that shit hurts, okay? So I can't imagine her constantly seeing comments every day about how she's not who she used to be. She's not as open as she was. I think people could go about it a different way. A lot of people aren't very nice to her when it comes to the criticism. Um, you not being the same person you were is not inherently bad. It's just something that happens in life. It's not something to feel guilty about.
And it's because I'm scared to be open.
Oh,
Because people just,
I'd be too.
they make me feel so bad about being human. And I don't want to feel bad about it anymore. Anyways, so I weighed in at 520.0,
Okay.
which means I did gain weight, and I'm exactly where I was on January 1st. Today is actually
Okay.
Tuesday, and I got a new scale.
So
You
what are we
guys will
doing?
actually see that in a vlog.
What's the game plan, Amber? We're back to starting weight from the beginning of the year, so can only go down from here. Let's keep that same mindset.
I opened it for you guys and I explained why I got a new scale. And I weighed myself today because I wanted to see if the scale was accurate. So I stepped on the one that I usually use, and then I stepped on the new one. And I'm already down a couple pounds from just Sunday, so that makes me really happy because, like I said, I'm not what I consider binging. Am I overeating? Yes, but I just feel like there's a different level. I don't know how to quite explain it, and I kind of want to.
You know what I've been doing to prevent myself from just constantly eating crap food all day is, for one, I don't buy the crap food, but two, I've been doing a lot of smoothies. So I'm still getting veggies and fruits, but I'm not, I'm not stuffing my face with like carbs. So maybe she should start making some smoothies. Might help for like a meal replacement.
Want to dive deeper into that and maybe like show you guys physical foods and what I mean by like overeating versus like binging, if you will. So
Yes,
on a happier note, my weight loss surgery appointment is coming up soon, and I am honestly so
Yay! I'm so excited for her to get that appointment. I really hope it goes well for her. We'll see. We'll see what they say. I'm excited.
oh my god, my makeup's all messed up. I was just wearing mascara and some lip stuff, but it is what it is. It's at the end of the night. So I'm gonna end this video.
I want to do her eyebrows so bad.
I'm sorry it was such a mess. I just wanted to be more open about what's really sitting heavy on me right now.
Yes.
But I am so hopeful for my future, actually, and I know the tears might say otherwise.
No, the tears say exactly that. The tears are a good sign. I really believe something has switched in her head. So I'm excited to see where she goes.
But I think it's a mixture of like sad tears for my brother, hopeful tears for me, scared tears for me. I don't know. It's a lot of different stuff, but I'm okay. And
you don't have to always know why you cry. I be crying all the time. All I know is I feel better after.
I just need to take a breath.
Yes.
I know that I'm gonna be okay, and I'm making the right choice by doing this weight loss surgery journey, and just keep my fingers crossed. That's all I can do. I'd love positive thoughts for my brother. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Alright, so that's it for her video today. This was a heavier video, so I really feel for her, and I'm really proud of what she's doing and what she's talked about. So I'll probably react to her next vlog just because I want to see if she actually comes through with posting what she thinks is a binge versus overeating. So we'll see. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for what she's gonna do this year, and I'm hoping in her vlog she's lost some more weight too. Alrighty, well, let's call it here, and I will see you guys in the next one.